Hi, Kingdom. Welcome back. So remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So happy to have you. Happy to have my new followers, and so truly grateful for all of my loyal, wonderful um, subscribers. So thank you. I appreciate you so much. So I did that. The twisted side of their mindset of the narcissist. So I'm going to do a part two because one of my first followers ever that is always interaction. Her name is Rosa Resources. She's always, she was the first one, I believe, to be my first subscriber. And she is always encouraging me. And she reminded me that they also have this where a lot of them are on drugs. They have drug as their addiction. So you may not even know that they're on drugs because they're covering it up so well, but you're probably wondering what's wrong with them. You can't figure out why they're so angry and so compulsive and so explosive all the time. Sometimes that is a sign that they are on drugs and that they have an addiction, and some people have they you might know, and you may know just a little bit, but you may not know the intensity of their addiction and what they're actually addicted to. They may only show you maybe one thing, but on the back end they may have lots of other addictions that you don't know about. They may be addicted to uh, a lot of people now are addicted to prescription medication, and they cover it up so well you don't know that that's what's going on. But that's another thing that they have. I did not mention this, but it's really important. um, some of them are child molesters. Okay, so you have to be very careful who you let around your kids. They their real interest is really not you. Their real interest is getting these innocent children who we love so much. So that's part of their sickness too, that they know that we love our kids so much, but they will do whatever they have to do to molest kids, children. They love it. They're addicted to it. They can't stop, just like the drugs and everything else that they all of these sicknesses that these terrible things that they do. So, these are things that if you suspect, you definitely want to maybe put uh, cameras, your own hidden cameras up. You in order to beat their game, sometimes you have to do sometimes what they do. So I did mention about them having the hidden cameras, but maybe you may want to set up hidden cameras or recorders so that you can hear and see what's going on when you are not there. It'll tell you a lot, especially if you know that you're dealing with a narcissist. This video is about narcissists and their twisted things and behaviors that they do. A lot of them also is they're involved with voodoo and witchcraft. If that's your thing, do what you got to do. But I I feel the same way about the having sex with the same sex relations. You do whatever you want. If that floats your boat, I am not here to judge. This is not what this channel is about. This channel is not about being to judge other people and what they do in their life. That's not my thing. I don't agree with that. I don't That's not my lifestyle, but I can't tell anybody what to do with their lifestyle. But I want you to be aware that witchcraft and voodoo is real. These people will do this, and you don't know that that's what they're doing. They're living with you and they're doing things to you, and you don't understand. You're sick and you don't understand why. This is why I tell you, you got to stay prayed up. You have to stay prayed up. I said in my other video just a little while ago, say out loud, no weapon formed against me or my children shall prosper, and it will always boomerang and return to sender, so that whatever they're trying or whatever traps they have set for you, that it just goes right back to them. Yeah, this is we've come away from, our society has come away from praying and having God and having a relationship with God and having love in our hearts. We've got to get back to that. We have to. This is going to be the only thing that is going to help us. I know a lot of people don't believe in God, and if you don't believe in God, I would hope that you would, you know, open up your heart to at least explore to find out what God is about. If you want to get with me and you want to talk about that, that's something we can definitely do. But I think having a interpersonal relationship with God is key, and it's going to get you through all those hard times. It's going to give you some a foundation and a rock, some refuge of somewhere that you can go to when all else fails. If your mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, friends all betray you, all do wrong things to you, that's one person that will never betray you. He may send you through a storm, or you may put yourself in a storm, and he'll allow you to go through it so that you don't know that when you get out that you don't go back. But these are things that I feel like we have to grow closer to God with, so that if you meet someone who is um, addicted to children, or drugs or whatever else their lifestyle is, and that's not your forte, that's not your thing, that you will see them a mile away and run from them. That's my goal, is that when we get back into these things, that into new relationships, or we're in relationships, that we see people for who they are. DMX says, trust a snake to be a snake, but trust a snake to bite you. See people for who they really are. That's our job. That's our job, to for when people show you who they really are, believe them. Believe DMX said it best. I can't say it any better. I hope I quoted him correctly. See people for who they are. Trust a person to be who they are. Tr- if a snake, trust a snake to be a snake, and if trust a snake to bite you, a snake is going to bite you. These people are snakes. So how you go about and how you move forward, I hope that you would, know that it's better to not have these people in your life, because they're very dangerous people and what comes along. But the witchcraft and the voodoo is definitely something that they do. And then these dark forces, which is why it just seems like things never kind of go right for them, or they'll go get ahead, but then they'll fall back into this pit. A lot of times they're doing it to themselves, but they don't realize that they're doing it. That's why we have to pray for them. And so I have one quick story, and then I'm gonna go. But so right before, this is after I found out about the narcissist. I was in the stage in my mind that I was still praying and asking God to change him. So I was praying that God would fix and change my husband at the time, to get him to see that he had a beautiful wife, he had beautiful kids, he has a beautiful home, he has a wonderful dog. We have cars. Yes, we work hard, but we have so much that we have accomplished together, and that I pray that God would just soften his heart, that he would see and know and appreciate everything that he had, and put value on everything that he had gotten and that we had accomplished. But that was not the case. So at the time, I had just a couple of months, I found out about the new supply. He was still living with us, and I went to work. It was a Saturday. I usually work on Saturdays, and when I got home, he was really cold. He wasn't talking a lot. He was neglecting everything in the house. Everything in the house was falling apart. If a door was falling off the hinge, I would tell him to fix it. He wouldn't fix it. It would just sit there. He wasn't watering. He loves his garden. He was not watering the garden. Um, my daughter had a. He had bought my daughter a pool, but it wasn't an in ground. It was above ground pool. The pool had turned black. I have still have pictures. I saw the pictures the other day. The pool was, when I tell you black, it was filled with algae and just, it was so disgusting. And he was, I thought about this morning. He was like a zombie. He was literally like us. He was walking around the house. He wasn't talking. He was completely different. His energy had completely shifted. And he was literally like, it was like I was living with a zombie. And I'm assuming, this is an assumption, I'm gonna assume that this person had given him all of their energy, and so he had taken on the new supply's energy. And maybe, I don't know if the new supply probably maybe into witchcraft and voodoo and those types of things. But this particular day I came home, and surprisingly, he was in the garden, which I thought was shocking because he hadn't been in the garden for months. Like 2 months had passed and he had not watered the garden at all. And so I go out there to ask him if he's okay. And what this is something I did just hit me. When I would talk to him and I would go close to him, he would do one of these. So when I went out to the garden to talk to him, I remember, it just hit me. Um, I remember him. I went to him and I said, I looked at him while he was watering the garden, and I walked out to the garden. I said, "Are you okay?" And he did one of these things to me. He looked at me. He said, like his neck went back, his lips went down, and like he was so disgusted with me. But it was an energy. I now know, I now know that it was an energy that was given to him, which is, I'm so grateful though. I'm so grateful for it. But he was completely turned off from me. That face gave me, I just realized it gave me that. So anyway, so as I say that, I look, and we both look, and across the street, there's no houses, it's just trees. We see smoke coming out of nowhere. Now, the week before was my daughter's birthday, and we had went to church. My daughter uh, said that she wanted everyone to come to church. So me, my son, my daughter, and the narc all went to church. And that, when we were coming from church, he had said to me in the car, which was rare because he wasn't talking to me. He said, I dreamt that someone was doing voodoo on me. And I started staring at him. And I said, "What did you just say?" He said, "I dreamt that someone was doing voodoo on me." And I was like, whoa. So now I don't know if this was one of his tactics, but if he did dream that, I was looking at him like, well, don't you have your answer? Like, obviously, this person is obviously doing something to you because you are allowed this transfer of energy. So, anyway, long story short, he had revealed that the week before. So now the following weekend came, and this smoke comes out of nowhere. And usually I'm the person that when something's going on, he'll tell me to go see what's going on. He didn't. It was a completely different energy. He just dropped the hose and he went across the street to investigate where this smoke was coming from. So me and my daughter came around the front of the house, and when we looked, he was across the street. There was literally a lady walking out all in all white. She had on a white blouse and a white skirt, and she was like dusting, I guess, like the soot from the smoke off of her. But she was speaking Spanish. And I said to her, because he was still over, I said to her, "What happened? What's going on?" And she was talking Spanish, so I couldn't understand what she was saying. But she kept dusting herself off and shaking her head, shaking her head. And so then I saw there was a car down the street, and he walked down the street to this car. He was bold. I've never seen him bold. I'm the bold one. I would always be the one to say, "Hey, what's going on?" But he walked down to this car. Whatever he said to them, you could tell that he was telling them to leave, which I was shocked. He had a new energy I'd never seen before, a boldness. And so he came back to the house, and I said, "What is going on?" I said, "What were they doing?" He turned to me and said, they were, what was his words? I'm going to get it correct. He said they said that they were praying out evil spirits. I said, "What?" So then I remembered him saying his dream, and I couldn't stop staring at him. I literally was not talking. I was just staring at him. And he was like, "Are you going to continue to stare? Are you going to stop staring at me now?" And I said, "You don't even know." I said, do you remember what you told me last weekend?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, so I reminded him, I said, "You told me last weekend that you dreamt that someone was doing voodoo on you." I said, "And now this week, some random people who we don't know, where we've lived here for God knows how long, we've never seen anything like it." I said, "Do you think that this is a coincidence that they're saying that they came to burn out and pray out evil spirits or whatever they were saying they were doing?" And I'm looking at him like, in my mind I was thinking, God is beating you on the head telling you to beware. God is beating you on the head telling you to change. God is beating you on your head telling you to change your direction, change your mindset. Get out of that zombie state. Get out of that. Stay away from this person, but God is love. And so, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, that they do transfer energy, they do suck on energy. And God was beating him on the head, giving him that last final warning that if he didn't change, that his life from that point on would be destruction, and that who that he had gotten involved with was a match for him, a match made in heaven. They completely deserve each other, and whatever they have for each other is for each one to give each other, because he's definitely a force to be reckoned with his evil and all the things that she's done. And I'll share with you what happened with my daughter with at a library with another story. I can actually tell it now. So there was a day where my I was working in another city, maybe like 20 minutes from the house, 20-30 minutes from where I live. And so my daughter calls me and she says, um, "Mom, someone was just looking for me." She would go to the library and wait for us after school, wait for me to pick her up, me or my son to pick her up after school. And so I said, "Who's was looking for you?" She said, "I don't know." So I was on the phone with my mother. She gets in the car and she's like, "You're never going to believe this." She was like, the security guard just told me that someone was looking for me." I said, "Who was looking for you? Because it's only us, so there's no one to look for her other than her dad." So I said, "Was it your dad?" She said, "No, it was someone, I'm not sure who it was." So she said that while she was at the library, the security guard came up to her and said, "Someone's been looking for you for the longest time." And she was like, "Looking for me?" So we have Life 360 where we can tell where the other person is. So she said she looked on the app and saw that I was coming across the bridge, so she knew it wasn't me. So she said she got up and she walked with the security guard. And she said by the time she got out there, the security guard looked, and it was a female black woman walking away, walking back to her car. And the security guard said, "There she is." And my daughter said, "But I don't know her." He said, "You don't know that person?" And she said, "No, I don't." So I was like, who in the world could that have been? No idea. It could have been the new supply. I don't know if it was a new supply, but it could have been the new supply. She was walking away, so my daughter didn't see her from the front. And then I called the library the next day to find out, hey, do you guys have footage? Because in my mind, I was thinking that's attempted kidnapping. Who There's no one that would be looking for my kid other than me, my son, and her dad. Other than that, there's no one else. I have no idea. I still to this day have no idea who this person was. But I suspect that he put the new supply up maybe to go and talk to my daughter, because my daughter had taken the stance that she's not going back to his house anymore, and she had had enough with his shenanigans and the things that he was doing to her when she was there. So I don't know, but when I called the librarian said, "Yes, I remember. I remember someone walking around the library looking for she kept saying she was looking for a little girl." I said, "Well, that was Miss." I said, "That was my daughter that she was looking for." I said, "Is there footage?" She said, "There's a whole heap of things that I have to go through. I have to go to the authorities and try to get them to do a report." So we did all of that. Don't know, never, haven't heard yet if anything's come of it. But I did file a report. But I just want you to know that these are the sick things that these people, there's no end into the sickness and the things that these people are willing to do to, one, get ahead, two, trick you, three, manipulate you, four, control you, devalue you, all of the things that go along with. These people are sick in the head. They think that they can do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and that people are not prayed up. Come on. That people are not aware of what they're doing, and that eventually everything, and this is another thing too, another gem that I have, everything that's in darkness always comes to light. Know that and believe that and have that in your heart, and tell God that whatever is in darkness, that you need Him to bring it to light when you're dealing with the narcissist. This is the only way that we are going to see clearly. And then once you get the answer, once God gives you the answer, you have got to move. You have got to be the one to decide, hey, I'm not going to sit around and wait for something worse to happen. We've got to take that stance. We have to set those boundaries. We have to do the no contact, and we have to set ourselves to go forth to live in a better space. So I hope that this helps. Kingdom, I love you. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to do a one-on-one coaching session, my email is in the description area. Hopefully this has helped more with shedding some light, and you are a part of the kingdom. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.